Let me talk to you, my orange internet money people, just briefly on this. You are not going to be able to explain orange internet money to people properly if they can't understand the foundation of hard currency. I'm not criticizing all of you, but I am criticizing some of you. Okay, and take this as constructive criticism. So take this in the spirit it's given, because some of you are trying to like beat people over the head with trying to understand how the orange internet money works, as opposed to like, dude, they don't even understand how hard currency works. So they don't understand how money works. And you're trying to like get them to do all this. That's ridiculous. That's like taking a 6-year-old kid and putting them in advanced fucking physics and expecting them to understand what's going on, dude. They're not going to follow fucking string theory, okay? Stop, okay? They need a foundation. So for a lot of people that have been asking this, I'm going to try and answer this question. The reason that gold was chosen as a currency, as a medium of exchange, okay? So in other words, it was still barter, but it's barter with gold in the middle. And the reason you had gold was because you could store it indefinitely and you could spend it later on. Therefore, this created something really important, the idea of savings. The idea that you could do labor now and then be paid for your labor, and you didn't have to eat all the berries right now. You didn't have to like eat all those chickens. You know, you didn't have to put the chickens somewhere. You didn't have to have some place to put your goats. You could be paid in something that was fairly portable. And in terms of the most amount of wealth because it's the heaviest metal in terms of density and stuff, it's always at the bottom of the pot. And so in terms of your wealth, you're able to conceal, and you're able to transport an enormous amount of wealth in a fairly small package. So like a bar of gold today is like over, you know, in dollars, if you convert it to dollars, is over $1 million for one of these bars of gold, these commercial bars of gold. So you're able to convey, in fact, it's actually a smaller package than $1 million in $100 bills, you know, because it's stacked this high. And so, you know, $100 bills, and you have 10 of those. And so anyway, so you're able to convert or to transport a fairly substantial amount of wealth in a fairly small package. You're also able to store it, and that's the big deal, because now you were able to work, be paid, like I just said, and then use your money later on to barter for other things that you wanted, right? Okay. If you can understand that part there, right? And then, well, why did they choose it? Well, they chose gold, again, because it didn't really have a lot of commercial properties. I mean, other than it's pretty and you can make it into jewelry and what have you, but it doesn't have a commercial application. It's not like silver. Silver's in everything. Silver's in all kinds of stuff, okay? Silver's in, I mean, look up the commercial applications of silver. It's almost mind-blowing how much, you know, silver is in. You could also look up David Morgan. He's the silver guru. I think that's actually what he calls himself, the silver guru and stuff. And he actually is extremely knowledgeable, and he knows probably more about silver than probably most people in the industry. He knows a lot about silver. And even he will point that out, that it is primarily a commercial metal. It's the best conductor of electricity and so on. And gold is really more of a monetary metal. And this has been a position of mine for many years now, for decades now, that it's a monetary metal. And both have monetary properties, but gold is more suited for monetary because it doesn't have as many commercial applications, okay, beyond very limited applications, and for marketing and what have you. Again, jewelry and shit like that. So when you're using little yellow metal discs to transact, the reason why people did that is because it was completely verifiable. And you've heard me been talking about this. If you followed any of my work recently, you know that I'm talking about this a lot. It's like it's because it's verifiable. It's something that you personally can verify if it's real or not, you know, with a submersion test and so forth. I mean, like there's other ways to test nowadays, but you get the idea. I mean, you could go old school if you wanted to. And that's important, because then when someone is paying you, they're paying you in a currency that you can verify yourself, and there's no taxes in the middle of that. Let me be very clear on this. the tax guy would have to be literally standing there when the transaction took place. I'm not kidding. He would have to like literally be standing right in front of you when your employer handed you gold coins, for example, for your labor, and you accepted them, because there would be no way of actually taxing that transaction unless they were right there. This means that you have control as labor and as business. Right? You know, the two of you have, it's a peer-to-peer relationship. There is no third party in the middle of this. There's no bankers, no insurance, no nothing. There's nothing in the middle of that transaction. It's A to B. And the middlemen hate this, right? Like we have right now, we have this middleman economy that is full of a bunch of people who just want to be in the middle of a transaction. They don't want to actually do anything. Right? They don't want to build anything. They don't want to go anywhere. They don't want to have to like be involved in any kind of manual labor. I mean, they detest that. I mean, my God, you might get, your nails might get fucked up or something like that. Like, oh my God. And so you've got this large number of people that are trying to be in the middle of all these transactions. When you cut out all of those guys in the middle, okay, you go forth and part the Red Sea, and you cut all those people out of the middle, and there's just your employer and you, okay, or your customer and you took everybody out. And a lot of people in the middle, they don't like that, especially when that huge number of people in the middle is a gigantic number of people now. It's gargantuan. I love using that word, but it actually is mind-blowing how many people. This is why you have so many people who don't really have any appreciable skills or anything. They just want to like go do something and make money, and like that's just not how it works. It's just like trying to be a social media influencer. There is and like I said, and I've said this before, I don't consider this a business model. I really don't. Unless you own the platform, I do not consider any of this a business model personally. Okay, this is just me talking to you. But when you take out all those people in the middle, they're going to be upset, because now they're going to go get real jobs. And there's no jobs, right? That means they're going to have to find real businesses. That means they're going to have to actually do stuff. They're going to have to like develop skills and then hone those skills and put in their 10,000 hours. Okay. That's how it works. Okay. And which that goes into the next topic of this and stuff. And I'll go into that in part 2 on that.